Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 13 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on doing at least two things every day that I don't want to do, but that I know are good for me to be doing. So, this is day 13. 87 to go. 87. Oh, eventually those numbers are going to be the opposite. They're going to be flipped, and I'm going to be so happy. So tonight I'm sitting on my couch and I'm just struggling to get myself to get up and do the things that I don't want to do, that I know I need to do so that I can go to bed because I'm tired, and that would be making my video and writing in my journal. So I'm like, I just want to go to bed. I just want to not worry about doing all of that, and I just want to go to bed. But no, I have to stay up and do it. And yes, I'm complaining. I know I should not be complaining. But I just was thinking, when is this going to get easier? When is this going to become automatic? When is this not going to be hard? And then this thought just popped into my head. I'm sure God is just, reminding me that he told me this was going to be hard. This was going to be one of the hardest things that I was choosing to do by doing these videos. This was not going to be an easy thing for me to do. So I need to stop thinking or expecting this to become easy. I already want it to be easy, or I already just don't want to do it. So, and neither one of those things are going to happen. And to be honest, I went to work today and I have not, maybe for a day or two, taken my ADHD medication. It's only half a pill. I didn't feel like it was making a whole lot of difference, but I've noticed even a little bit that it did. It helped me focus just a little bit at work, not 100%, but still, me and my little crazy. And it helped me to turn stuff off, and it helped me to go to bed. And it was it makes just a tiny bit of difference. Not the big, huge, drastic difference that I felt when I was taking the 27 milligrams versus cutting it in half, but it was making a difference. It is making a difference. So I'm like, as much as I don't want to be taking it, I probably should be, but I kind of have to see myself without it to see the difference, to be like, okay, maybe it's worth taking. I just don't want to. And I kind of was not as focused at work today. And I was more focused than I usually am, I think, but I was also having fun, and I was sitting in a different place, and I rather enjoy the different place, and I didn't feel as stressed and whatever. But I was still looking for things to do and trying to find stuff to do to keep myself from being bored. So that was good. I didn't really want to, but I was like, I'm here, I'm at work, I better have work to do, because it's not really good to be bored, and it's not even lunchtime. So I am grateful I got to find some stuff to do that kept me busy, and then I ended up staying late because I didn't want to stop doing what I was doing, which again, medication would have been helpful, because I would have been like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm just going to put the rest of this back and somebody else can do it, or I can finish it tomorrow or something. But I stayed. And then I came home and I was like, I don't care. I didn't make food. I didn't do anything. There was leftovers from lunch on Tuesday, and I took them out of the fridge at work, and I brought them home for my dinner tonight. And it's kind of odd because we're not supposed to take them home to share with other people, but I don't know if that means we're not allowed to take them home. But I was like, okay, I don't really want to sit at work so I can sit and eat a sandwich, and I can just take it home and eat it, because it's food they bought for us at work. So anyway, I took it home with me and ate it at home. I don't really care. I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But it's not like I'm bringing it home to share with other people, which is what they told us we weren't supposed to do. So I don't know what the rule is on taking home leftovers for myself to eat for later. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. But yeah. So I just, eating food, because I'm like, I don't want to make food. I don't want to go grocery shopping. I don't want to do anything. I'm done for the day. But thankfully, I did not stay done. I actually did my dishes, which I really didn't want to do, and I haven't done all week, so they're piling up, and I don't have clean dishes, and I was like, And I've been wanting to make some muffins, some spicy spice muffins, not spicy, spice muffins that have all spice and cinnamon in them that taste really yummy. And I have some almonds, and I thought, I'll crush up some almonds, and I'll mix it all together, and I will have me some nice spice muffins. But then, because I'm just emotional, I was craving chocolate. And so I was like, what if I do a combination of the spice muffins and the chocolate? Because I have dark cocoa. So I did that. I made muffins with almonds and dark cocoa and put some allspice in it. And I was surprised. They actually turned out pretty good. They're muffins, so they're not super sweet. I just put agave syrup in them. There's no sugar in them, and I just used oat flour, so it's gluten-free, and I used almond milk, so it's dairy-free, and I used the just egg egg substitute, so there's no eggs in it. So like, they're still to some extent healthy, and it has dark cocoa, which I've heard dark chocolate's supposed to be better for you than regular chocolate. But either way, I'm like, okay, the agave syrup is probably the worst thing in it. But it was still yummy. They turned out pretty good. So I had a couple of those tonight. And I was like, oh, yummy. I might have some of those for breakfast in the morning, even though that's not the best breakfast because I have to be to work super early. So anyway, I was supposed to make the other kind. Well, I guess I wasn't supposed to do anything. I just, the only reason when I washed my dishes, I'm like, okay, I gotta wash dishes. I gotta wash out my muffin pan. So I washed out my muffin pan so I could make my muffins because that I wanted to do. So that I had to do my dishes in order to make my muffins. So that was my motivator for that. And then, of course, once I turned off my TV and my phone and I started to do that, then it was like God was reminding me of all the other things that I was supposed to do today and did not want to do. And so I did them. And one of them was like going online and paying my ANWA dues, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's like I just don't want to pay the money. It's only $30. It's not horrible. But it's like, oh, now I have to pay money. But if I don't, then they log me out of their Facebook account and off of the app, and then I don't get to go to my writing group every month, which I want to go to. So I was like, fine, I will go online, I will pay that. And then, of course, I had questions. And I just realized that I need to do my own research because I often depend on other people to tell me what to do or what the right answers are instead of coming up with my own right answers. And I've looked into Paper Raven books before, and I'm like, it sounds like a really good deal. And if I had the money to burn, I would totally do it. And I know that I'm totally worth the money, but I mean, I don't have the extra money. So I'm like, if I do it and my book flops, then I'm out $3,000. And if I do it and my book is a success, then it's totally worth it. But it's that gamble. And, you know, if I've got the extra money to do it, then it's totally worth the gamble in my mind. But I don't really have the extra money and I don't really want to do the gamble. I'm still debating on that. And I was kind of hoping my editing friend would just, you know, edit my book so that I could publish it. And I was just going to self-publish it and try to figure out how to do the marketing and all the other stuff myself, which I'm capable of doing, but it would take a lot longer to get it out there because I'm a lot slower and I still have to learn how to do all of those things. And it wouldn't like have this big, huge takeoff or upstart or whatever. And I'm okay with that because I will be honest, I think Lenoy and the Teachers of Powers is a good book. I'm not going to say it's not a good book. I think I've rewritten it multiple times and it's better than the first original version that I ever wrote. And I'm sure that if I worked on it some more, I could make it just a little bit better. I'm not really sure what I need to do to make it a little bit better. So it would be helpful to get feedback from more people. I'm just tired of getting feedback from people. But Lenoy and the Teachers of Powers is basically, it's an introduction book. It's not the main story. It's not the main character for the whole story or the whole series. It's a character that does show up a few times in the series, but not the main character for the entire series. And it's basically an introduction book. It's a magnet book. It's basically introducing people to my world and to the powers in my world and to the characters and to my writing style. It's just an introduction. And I mean, if you have a really good introduction, which it needs to be a good introduction, then it gets people wanting to read the rest of the series. So I'm hoping that it's a good introduction, that it's an enticing introduction. But I realize that it's the introduction. It's not the bestseller. It's not the, it's not the one that everybody's going to remember. It's not the main plot. It's not the big, huge, scary thing in the middle. It's like, oh my gosh. It's not the thing that's like, oh my gosh, I have to watch the rest of this. It's just it's just an introduction is what it is. It's kind of an introduction to the prequel series. That's just kind of how I set up my kingdom and how it becomes what it becomes and creates the issues that it has that work out for the main character for the overall series that has an overlying effect in just about every single book. Not that she's in every single book, but probably has an appearance in most of the books in the series, even if she's not the main character for the book. So it's, except for Lenoy and the Teachers of Power, she does not have any appearances in that one or any reference to the main character in that book. But I'm pretty sure all the other books are going to have a reference to her or going to have her in it. So, and that would be the character for The Plight of the Wise One, the main character in The Plight of the Wise One. And it is the Wise One that is in all of the books. It's the Wise One series kind of a thing. Anyway, that's the... Anyway, I'm rambling about my books. I love talking about my books. So I just, I also feel like a lot of times that the prequel series and books and things like that most people aren't really interested in the backstory until they've read the main story, and then they want to go back and understand how it all came to be and how it all came to play. And so I feel like I should probably get myself to spend more time on working on The Plight of the Wise One and finishing that one and polishing that one off a little bit, because that one has the potential, I think, to be maybe a bestseller. Maybe not a bestseller because I'm like a new writer and author and I'm not, fantastic at it. But I mean, that has the potential, I think, to be a big book, to be a big seller, even if it's not a bestseller. But it has the potential, I think, in my mind, to be a much bigger, better book. And of course, I think once people read that and they start reading more of the series, then they're going to want to go back and read, Lenoy and the Teachers of Power. So interest in that book will grow based on the other series. But I don't know that it's going to be huge to begin with. So I don't want to downplay my talent. I don't want to say that I'm not good enough to have like a really good book, or to have people want to buy my book, or that my writing's horrible or anything like that. I just don't know if it's worth $3,000 to put it out there, especially if I don't make $3,000 back on the book. And I'm not really sure how that works, or if there's any kind of guarantee. So I'm just trying to do a little bit more research on my own, which I don't like to do. So I texted Dad Shoemaker tonight and just said, hey, these are some concerns and some ideas and some things, and what do people think? And then I went on Facebook, because there's an ANWA Facebook page, and I put it out there for all of my ANWA writers, because some of them have agents and are published, some of them self-published, some of them have self-published multiple books. And so there's multiple different versions and ways that people on there have published, and some of them are like me and they're writing stories, but they haven't quite figured out how to publish their books yet. So I put it out there to get advice and opinions from other people, so that I can make an informed decision, an educated decision, and feel like I'm making the best decision for me and for my writing and for my books. So not something that I'm comfortable doing, but I'm doing it. And if anyone watching these videos has an opinion on that, I'm more than willing to listen to that. So please comment below and let me know what you think, or thoughts, ideas, things like that. I'm open. I'm trying to be open to learning and coming up with new ideas and ways to make things better in my life, and to remember that I don't have to reinvent the wheel, because other people have paved the way before, so I can follow in their footsteps. Other people have self-published, so I can get them to help me or show me how they did it. So it doesn't have to be as hard or as difficult as, I imagine it is. I don't have to start from scratch. I just have to learn how they did it, so that I can, do it myself, or make it figured out my way of doing it. Just like other people have written books, and I have my own voice and writing style and my own story, but it may be similar to other people's, and I can still learn from other people. So it's just a big, huge learning process. And, if I had the extra money, like I said, I would be like, okay, well, it's a gamble, it's worth a shot. And if I had the extra money and it didn't matter, I would just be like, all right, here you go. No big deal. We'll see what happens. And then if it turns out really great, then I'm like, awesome, I'll do it again for my next book. And if not, then I'll be like, okay, well, tried and failed, let's not do that again. But don't know at this point. I just don't know, and I want to invest in myself, and I want to put myself and my books and my writing out there. I just want to find the best way that works for me, that isn't gonna make my financial situation any worse than it currently is. So that's my biggest concern right there. But I am very grateful that I was willing to put it out there and asking people, because that's hard for me and that's scary for me. And I realize that nobody may respond. I may still have no response whatsoever, and it will still be left up to me, and I will just have to decide what is best and what works best. So I'm gonna have to trust myself. I'm gonna have to trust that God is guiding me in the right direction, and that too is is scary, but it usually always works out for the best. Okay, it probably always works out for the best if I'm doing what God wants me to do. It just doesn't always work out the way that I want it to, or go in the direction that I want it to. And when it doesn't, I usually get upset and have a little tantrum because it's not working out the way that I want it to. And I'm not willing to accept that there's something better in a different direction because I'm just hyper focused on the direction that I want to go in. So I'm trying not to hyper focus on the direction that I want to go in. And I'm hoping that I can be open to other ideas and options and find the one that works the best for my situation and for me. So that's where I'm at today. And that's what's got me all tied up in my emotional state of whatever crazy. So I just don't want to do anything. And yet here I am making my video. And when I'm done, I will write in my journal so that I can go to bed because I am tired and I have to get up early tomorrow. And yes, so there we go. I'm done. That's all I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like them too. Feel free to comment below if you have any ideas, suggestions, or things for me to do. And that's all I have for today. So I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and maybe try one or two things that you don't want to do that you know would be good for you.